everybody, this is Lana Michelson from lanamichelson.com, and today I want to discuss with you something else about relationships. I got into a fight with one of my children today about something that was totally stupid, so stupid I'm not going to mention what it was, but I was thinking about it. Why did I react so badly in this fight? It was really a stupid thing that we were fighting about. And it came to me that the reason why I reacted so badly is because it triggered something inside of me from my past. From my relationship with my parents or my relationship with my siblings. I haven't yet decided which one it is, or maybe it's both. But something that my child did triggered that in me, and I reacted as if I was back there when I was a child, reacting to my parent or to my sibling, whoever it was that triggered me like that. I'm pretty sure it was either my parents or my sibling. Those are the people who usually triggered me the most. And after I came to that realization, it was much easier for me to just go to my child and say, let's forget about this. It's a stupid argument. Let's just move on happily. I'm sorry for what I said to you. You can be sorry for what you said to me, and that's it. Let's move on. And I think that that happens a lot when you're dealing with husband-wife relationships or partner relationships, because I know that when I deal with couples in therapy, very often they'll start fighting over something, and the fight can get really heated, but if I stop them, and I do whatever techniques I use, whether it be tapping, spinning, or dialing, and release whatever it was, and I say, okay, how do you feel about it now? They'll right away say, oh, doesn't bother me anymore. I don't care anymore. It doesn't really make a difference. So basically what was happening is whatever one partner said to the other partner was striking them into some sort of trance, bringing them back to their childhood or to their young adulthood, whichever it might be. And it triggered some reaction that they had then to something that someone did to them then. And really, whatever they were fighting about was not necessarily such a big thing. Maybe it was a really small thing, but that trigger on both sides, or that trigger on one side, which caused a trigger on the other side, created that big explosion, which didn't have to be in the first place. If we can catch ourselves in our trances and stop it, release the trance, we'd be in a much better place. We'd be in a much more loving place, which is where we want to be when we're talking about relationships. Relationships are usually supposed to be loving, and that's where we want to get to. So when you do therapy, instead of just talking through the problems, I would just say, release whatever you're holding inside of you. Release that trigger that caused the fight in the first place. By the way, if you haven't yet done it, you can give a like down below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also hit the subscribe button and also the bell notification button so that you can be notified whenever I put out a new video. Back to my topic. Dealing with relationships of all kinds, be it between you and your children, be it between you and your partner, be it between you and your parents. Often the fights that we have with them are triggers that are stuck inside of us, which if we would just release those triggers, it wouldn't cause the fights anymore. And all our relationships would be much more loving, which is what I think most of us want to have. We all want the loving relationships. Nobody wants the fight. Nobody wants to be yelling at each other. Nobody wants to feel hurt at the end of the day. We'd much rather feel loved. So if you catch yourself being triggered and being dragged into a fight, it might pay to step aside, go to the other room, and just, first of all, calm yourself down, and then think, why is this triggering me so much? What is causing it to trigger me? What's causing me to react in this way for this really stupid thing that doesn't need to be reacted that way? And that's not to say that all things are stupid that you fight about. Some things you fight about might be important. But even then, there are better ways of fighting and there are less ways of fighting. And if you want to be productive, have a productive argument as opposed to a fight. Fight in general has a connotation of something that's not productive, not good. While argument can be a very civil argument where you're both stating your views, and even if at the end of the day you agree to disagree, you haven't hurt anybody, you haven't hurt each other, and each other is usually the person who you love the most, because that's why you chose to live with them, or you had them as children. So why not improve all our relationships by stopping ourselves in the heat of the moment before it gets really bad, and just working out where it came from, and why you're reacting like that, and then bring down the level of the reaction. So you can talk it out, you can discuss it, you can have it in a normal way. Now, as I said, very often when I work with couples and I have them stop, do one of the techniques that releases whatever it is that they're holding inside themselves, and then they come back to the actual argument, neither of them have any desire to argue anymore. They're like, oh, doesn't really matter. You're right. I don't even know why we were arguing in the first place. And that's what I find generally tends to happen. So anyway, have a great morning, have a great evening, have a great night, wherever you are in the big world. Remember, everything's always going your way, everything's always going my way, everything is always going everybody's way. Take care from Ilana Michelson.